This channel supports St. Jude's Research Hospital for Children and is a part of their Play Live charity drive. For more information on how to join as well as how to donate, please head to the description and click the link at the top of it. Remember, any and all support is appreciated, so feel free to give and support in any way you can. Thank you for your participation.
What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Magus, back with another old gamer rant. Why did I pause right there? I don't know. I actually do know, but for the sake of pretenses, we're going to pretend like I'm not in a certain state at the time I'm recording this, if you guys know what I mean. It's a state that you're used to seeing me in other videos that tend to drop late at night, let's say. So that will give you a clue of what's going on with me. Anyhow, how you guys doing? So, subject of this old gamer rant is there's always something to play. Now, you hear it a lot, especially on YouTube and the internet in general, where people who are heavy into gaming are always complaining about there's nothing to play. There's absolutely nothing out there to play. Gaming is dry, blah, blah, blah. As I sit here looking at all the games that I own, I realize that there's always something to play. Because looking at the stuff that I own, I realize there's a lot of holes, especially with this year. Now, I will say this. As time goes on, there are certain periods, certain years where you don't get as much, how would I say this? You don't get as many widely known titles or highly celebrated titles coming out in the course of time, but you always get something to play. You always get a bunch of games. It's always some good quality content out there to pick up. As I've said before, if anything, at this point in time in gaming, I think that gamers have such a huge, wide variety of content to choose from. I know a lot of people like to dismiss it, but the independent publishing and development scene, to me, has brought gaming back to a point where back when I grew up on the older systems, the Nintendos, the SNES, Sega Genesis, so on and so forth, you're getting a wide array of publishers who are coming up with different types of games for you to play. Not just AAA, big brand, big name, huge promotion titles, but you're getting the smaller, in a lot of cases, more creative content flowing. So you always have some type of choice. There's a level of diversity that has always been commonplace with gaming, but seems to be having a resurgence. It's funny because I see people moving more towards PC gaming more and more these days, and I think what they're not realizing is that the thing about PC gaming that is partially driving them to it, it's the same thing that is going on with consoles now, but has always gone on with PCs, and has always been a staple of quality gaming periods, which is you have so many different things on so many different levels. It's not just things that are put in the spotlight all the time, especially with PC gaming. A lot of the best of PC gaming are smaller, lesser known companies, a lot of independent companies who are putting out these products that people are, becoming endeared to. A good example would be the Battlegrounds game. That is not a big name publisher, but people are playing that game like crazy, and it's become a huge success. But it's not a AAA game. It's an early access game made by a company that's not like a big EA, Ubisoft type of deal. You know what I mean? So while people are trying to kind of shit on Independence Game, one of the more popular games out there, in particular on PC, is done by a company that's more independent than people realize. And it's just weird to me how people want to always scream that there is no content, there's nothing out there to play. There's always something out there to play. And let's be real in this sense too. A lot of us can't afford games when they first come out, so we have backlogs. Like, again, I purchase a healthy amount of games during the year, but there's still some titles that I miss because I do sort of have a budget. I can't just go willy-nilly and buy everything that looks interesting to me. It's like right now, I don't own Nier. I don't own a Nintendo Switch. I don't know if I ever will, but Zelda would be a game that would interest me. I doubt it'll ever be interesting enough for me to buy a Switch because I'm particular about why I buy consoles. But at the same time, that's an interesting enough game that I don't own. And there's probably a ton of other games that have dropped over the time period that, I'm really, really curious to see how they play, but I just haven't picked up yet, or I can't afford to pick them up yet, or just a numerous amount of reasons. And having things out there like that, for me, a person like me to say there's nothing to play would be ridiculous because there's always something that I can go pick up that I wanted to play. And I think a lot of gamers don't realize that. Like, I know a lot of us who do YouTube and things like that who consider ourselves hardcore gamers. When we say these things, I don't think we're thinking about the full spectrum of the way things are, and part of that is the whole backlog issue. Of course, a lot of people who do YouTube, Twitch, whatever, they'll buy a game and they'll play it for a while to get the views, to get the follows, what have you, and then they'll move on. But even then, there's still something out there that you probably didn't play. And there's still something out there that you enjoy playing, or else you wouldn't be continually posting video game content or doing streaming of a particular game, because there's something out there for you to play. You can't just chalk it up to, well, there's nothing else, so I'm just going to do this. You want to do that. If you didn't want to do that, you would seek out other things. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. At the end of the day, don't believe into the idea that there's not enough games to play or there's nothing out there to play. The bottom line is there's two reasons why you feel like that. One, because you're not interested in a certain genre or certain type of game or what have you. So therefore, in your mind, there's nothing to play. But there's always something to play. It's just like not what you particularly like to play. And two, a lot of times the attitude that there's nothing to play is more shaped on what other people say. Let's be honest with yourselves, viewers. A lot of times your favorite YouTuber or Twitch personality will say something, and as a fan, you kind of take to their opinion, which isn't necessarily reflected on reality. It may be somewhat towards how you feel. At the end of the day, hey, there's plenty of games, plenty of content. Again, going back to the PC thing, I hear people rave over how much there is on Steam. A lot of that stuff on Steam are smaller, independently developed gaming content and things like that. And the consoles have gotten hip to that and are putting that type of content on there. So it just goes to show you, everybody is now featuring a lot to play, to where the whole statement, there's just nothing out there to pay, gaming is dry, blah, 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 it's a falsehood. And it's something that you probably should stop believing in. And if anything, tailor how you view things as there's nothing out there that I'm interested in playing, rather than there's nothing to play, because there's always something to play. But anyway, I'm going to end this video right here. So as always, you guys feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Makers, and I'm out, y'all. Deuces.